Hello Internet goers and welcome to episode 4 of Building with Xano, where you can see things which take hours to build be built in just a few short minutes. Remember, if you want to support this series, all you have to do is like, comment and or subscribe. And in today's episode, I'm doing something a bit smaller than last week, this time creating a river, and of course some stuff around it too. In any case, I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, right, so welcome back to my end of the video describe the build section thing. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. Right, so now that I'm talking, you know that the build, or the time-lapse of the build is over, and I'm going to be describing this build a bit. As you can see, Not as big as the previous builds I've done, but it is something for this week. Part of the reason I made it a bit smaller than usual is because of the amount of time which I've had this week, which has been less than usual. So what is there to say about this build then? Well, there are 3 main features, I guess. Well, I mean 4 if you include this willow tree, which is something new for me. I haven't done quite this kind of tree before. It was a bit tricky. I had to do everything by hand mostly. It was a bit different to usual trees, but if you don't include that, there's also the tower with a little wool segment there as well, the docking area kind of thing, and the boat. So I'll start with the boat actually. Pretty simple design. Not really much to it. Haven't done many boats before, but this wasn't too tricky actually. Didn't take so long, and it was pretty simple. It's also quite small. There's the ropes, which are out of fences, which I personally think work the best. I know that some people use glass for ropes, which does look very good too, but I think it's better for larger boats, or larger ships. Realistically, this boat has to have some kind of a destination, and in order to have that kind of destination, I mean, it can't really get through these arches here, so there has to be something here, which it is going to. There's not really anywhere for it to go along this side, so I had to do it along the cliffs here, which is why I built this little docking kind of area, which was an interesting thing to do. It's a bit different. It's against a cliff, so it was something I haven't tried so much before. Also, this week a lot of new stuff. There's not much more to say. Okay, so there is actually one thing to say about this, is that I did add some crates and a couple logs and things which you'd find on the dock after the end of the time lapse. So yeah. Also, moving on to the tower, it's a bit of an interesting design. Towers, I always find them a bit tricky. I don't know. I'm not so good at the kind of vertical building thing. I prefer that kind of flat shape there. Well, actually, the windmill did turn out kind of good. Didn't go exactly to plan. Turned out okay, I guess, but missed changing these to cobblestone walls. Oh well, never mind. So yeah, and it has the wool segment over here. Obviously, this thing just ends kind of abruptly here, and that's because I am going to... I do have big plans for this area over here, which this is going to be connected to, and I'll be extending this wool probably off in that direction, which is why I've kind of left it cut off there instead of putting some kind of stair or something. Like I said, I did add a couple things after the time lapse, after the end of the time lapse, which was I added some reeds or sugarcane or whatever you want to call it, some of these lily pads. What else? I did add some more kind of leaves and leafy things here around there. A couple small trees, and yeah, I think that's actually about it. I did add a bit of what's it called, stone brick behind this as well. Right, so that's about all there is for this build. I do hope you did enjoy this video, despite that it wasn't quite up to the same standards as I usually have. I will be trying to make up for it though next week with a bigger build, which you'll have to look forward to until then. Unless, of course, at the time of you watching this video, the next episode is already out, in which case, I guess you can go and watch it straight away. Yeah, so, anyway, decided to end off this video with a good view over the entire build. So, there you have it, that's this week's build. Thank you, everyone, very much for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time.